laminate, and more. See Barrett Floor Covering, 150 East Dixon School Road in Kings Mountain. Online at barrettfloorcovering.com. Like them on Facebook, too.
Get ready for cold winter weather with a stop in at Norris Merchandise in Shelby. They carry all your favorite brands, including Wrangler, Ariat, Carhartt, Drake, Local Boy Outfitters, and now Keen Utility Safety Toe Shoes for men. And hurry in now for the new Laney Wilson limited edition Wrangler jackets. And chill out around the fire with the new Brio Fire Pit made right here in the USA in Pennsylvania. And it comes with a lifetime warranty. Be ready for the cold with a stop in at Norris Merchandise, 2011 South Lafayette Street in Shelby, Highway 18 South. Online at norrismerchandise.com. Like them on Facebook, too.
Nobody does it better.
Yes, when it comes to real estate, nobody does it better than Sherry Horn of Sherry Horn Real Estate. Sherry was voted the best real estate agent and best real estate office in Cleveland County. If you're in the market to buy or sell your home, talk with Sherry Horn at Sherry Horn Real Estate. Call 704-915-5450 or visit her website at soldbysherry.com. And like her on Facebook too, and you'll see why nobody does it better.
You hear them pads going clack, 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 clack. You hear them clicks going tap, tap, tap.
704 beats by Alex J.
Yeah. First and 10. We in the trenches. You like the water cooler. You be on the benches. Think your team better, but they lack skill. First snap, I leave your backs in the backfield. Your quarterback scared, I see it in his eyes. Sent the receiver in motion, that's just a disguise. My linebackers, they stepping up. Clog the hole, no letting up. Taking on them big blocks. On fourth down, we get big stops. My secondary is balling out. Your offense keeps stalling out. How many yards? Like none at all. Call the special teams, come punt the ball and it's gone. And you never see me fair catch. I get a block and then I'm gone like a Learjet. My helmet on, pass strap tight. My jersey shining in them Friday night lights. Win, we just came to win. Win, we just came to win. Friday night lights. Friday night lights. Win. We just came to win. Win. We must protect this house. I'm in a huddle talking to the Hawks. We gonna run it down their throat soon as we get the ball. Come out and fire off the ball. We going on one. My skill position so proficient. Break for long runs. Come out running that option. That mean I got the option to keep that or pitch that. Defense they gotta fix that. 4 receivers we spread them out in the shotgun. Hot reads I got some. My tight end so awesome. Touchdowns I toss some. We score 6 scoreboard that score 6. Respect the ball, we protect the ball. We don't fumble, no throw picks. I feed my linemen pancakes, so all they blocks are pancakes. Push you around like all night. End of the game, get your handshakes, huh? My helmet on, pass strap tight. My jersey shining in them Friday night lights. Win. We just came to win. Win. We just came to win. Friday night lights. Friday night lights. Win. We just came to win. Win. We must protect this house.
And good evening, and welcome to another Friday night football on KZ Broadcasting with Dennis Davis, Shannon Allen, Kevin Hastings. Always having a good time here, and of course JP always. So running the sound and commercials and just making them sound better than they normally do.
Are you Shannon Allen?
Shannon Allen. Did I really say that?
Yeah, I think you did. I think you slipped up on that one.
It's been a long day.
Shannon Allen's here with us tonight. Folks, welcome to the pregame show brought to you by Witherspoon Insurance of Shelby. We're going to have some food here in a little bit brought to you by Pete's Fish Box. We'll talk more about that here in just a little bit, folks. But Welcome to tonight's broadcast. I'm Kevin Hastings, along with the usual jokers, of course, Dennis and Shannon here. And we're getting ready for not yet. Yeah, I don't need that yet. We're getting ready for tonight's broadcast. We've got a lot of games on the schedule. I'm going to give tonight's broadcast, and then I'm going to let Shannon and Dennis finish up the rest of the schedule. I'll pull up some things on the interweb for you folks. So Bessemer City's at Cherville tonight. That's on WCSL 92.9 FM, 1590 AM. Kings Mountain is at Crest tonight. That's on WHS 101.5 FM, 1390 AM. RS Central is at East Rutherford tonight on Waggy 101.5 FM. 107.5 FM in Rutherford County, and WAGYFM.com. Lincoln County Game of the Week this week is North Lincoln at East Lincoln with David Potter and Scott Tudor covering that game. And then our Game of the Week here on KTC Broadcasting, the video broadcast brought to you by Burns Bulldogs, Tom Sinafani, Matt Royster, and Trent Marty up at Burns tonight. We're going to have Shelby at Burns. We have broadcast for both broadcasts, Shelby and Burns, and they both will have video. So if you prefer your Shelby announcers, you can listen to Brent and Jeff and watch the same video as the Burns folks are on their broadcast. So for you Shelby fans, your channel will be on the WOHS channel. We'll have the links up on, we've already got the links up on Facebook and Twitter. We'll have them up on the website here in just a minute. And so, again, if you want to watch the Shelby broadcast, WOHS channel, the WHS 101.5 channel, Burns broadcast will be on the Burns Bulldogs channel. All right, Shannon, I'm going to let you finish the rest of them. Real quick, I guess the game not that we're broadcasting of the week that I got highlighted here is Statesville at Hickory, guys. So that should be, it's 1 versus 3 in our power polls. So I'll let you guys handle the rest. Shannon, you want to do the rest of the bottom, then Dennis middle, then you the right? Is that okay?
Yep. We'll do that.
When I delegate columns around here, there seems to be an argument sometimes.
Okay. Nice. So Highland Tech will be at East Gaston. Corvian Community will be traveling to Mountain Island Charter. Christ the King will be at Bishop McGinnis. Cherokee Braves traveling over the mountain to Murphy. Hayesville will be at Andrews, and Starmount at Elkin.
All right. And in the middle, Shannon, we've got the Maiden Blue Devils and the Newton Conover Red Devils. So we'll see how that comes out tonight. West Lincoln is playing Lincolnton tonight. That's a rivalry that goes back many years, and we'll see how that one turns out as well. West Caldwell is taking on East Burke tonight. Bandy's is battling with Bunker Hill tonight. Hendersonville and Chase tonight. An interesting matchup. And the Brevard Blue Devils are taking on the Polk County Wolverines tonight. Pine Lake Prep is taking on the Community School of Davidson. And we've got North Wilkes Vikings taking on the Forbush Falcons. The Surrey Central Eagles are battling the Wilkes Central Eagles. So the Eagles are going to win that one, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got Owen Warhorses against the Rosman Tigers. The North Stanley Comets are taking on the Albemarle Bulldogs. And the Madison Patriots are taking on the Swain County Maroon Devils. So, Shannon, if you'll get that last column.
All right, and this will be the 3A games. Hunter Huss will be going to Ashbrook in a rivalry game there. South Point will be traveling to North Gaston. Stuart Kramer will be going to Forest View. Fred T. Ford will be at St. Stephen's. North Iredale will be going over to West Iredale. Irwin will be at, what does that say, North Buncombe? Irwin at North Buncombe. Freedom at Watauga. High Brighton at Alexander Central. Smoky Mountain will be at West Henderson. Ash County will be going over to South Caldwell. McDowell will be at Inca, and Asheville will be will be going to cross town to face the Rockets of AC Reynolds. But Dennis, this is the last. A lot of these teams in 2A, this is the last week of conference play, and probably 1A too. But in 3A, I know in Gaston County and then schools up in the mountains, there's still one more week of football after tonight. One more week of the regular season after tonight.
Right.
So a lot of games, and that's the game. I don't know who's playing next week, but those aren't like tonight should be your bigger ball games, obviously. I don't think in that Gaston County in the Big South, I don't think anything would change. Maybe it would if South Point would lose next week. You may have a shakeup there. Maybe, maybe not. I guess they would win the conference outright.
Well, South Point
If they don't lose
probably
tonight.
will not lose next week. I think the real key to determining the 1 and 2 positions in that conference is tonight's battle between Kings Mountain and Crest.
Yeah.
If Kings Mountain should win that game, it becomes a log jam at second place with South Point clearly in first. And if Crest wins, then we've got a log jam at first place.
Yeah. Well, I think South Point wins it because they own the tiebreaker over Crest. Ashbrook's already lost 2. Ashbrook's last game, I think, the regular season is tonight. They don't play next week. Kings Mountain would have lost. No, they would not have.
Au contraire, mon frere.
Okay.
In the seeding, they use the RPI.
Right. Yeah.
Crest has a better RPI than South Point.
See, that's the one thing I don't understand. It's, I get that if it doesn't go by who won, I guess, a head-to-head matchup.
You'd think that's the natural way
Yeah.
things would fall. A beats B, B beats C.
Yeah.
How does it work out? Well, then they throw in this RPI, sort of like Kevin's, top
Yes, power pole.
power
yeah.
pole kind of thing. He gets into that about how many points have you scored? How many points have you given up? Have you beat a higher ranked team, 3A versus a 2A kind of thing? So there's a rhyme and reason for all this, but that's above our pay grade. We just work here. We don't own the place.
Yeah, if you think back to last year, Crest was the number 1 seed in the West, and during the playoffs, and they had a gauntlet to go through to get as far as they did. They beat Statesville, and then they beat was it West Charlotte after that, and then they played Dudley.
Yeah.
And that's when Dudley beat them. I thought they beat one more in there, maybe not, but yeah, that's one of those. Being the number 1 seed, you would think, okay, they would have had the easier route through the playoffs. But no, if that's the case, the number 1 seed out of the Big South, that's probably the hardest road to hoe. That you have to beat some good teams to get even advance to the next week, and whereas the number 2 seed, or even I don't want to say number 2, but anyway, not the first seed out of that conference, their path to the deeper part of the playoffs may be a little easier.
Yeah.
Than the number 1 seed. Same could be said for 2A, because you got big games tonight in 2A. You got Shelby at Burns. You also have West Lincoln at Lincolnton. You have Maiden, or is it Maiden? Yeah, where are they playing? Maiden's playing at Newton Conner, right? So that's that wasn't the game. It was somebody else. Who was the other game in that? Oh no, it was 3. That was North Lincoln and East Lincoln. But that's the 3A side of it. But yeah, that's big games in 2A. West Lincoln and Lincolnton. Lincolnton's won, I think, 5 straight. And all their losses came non-conference. Maybe one conference loss, but it's still one of those things. If West Lincoln wins, now you talking about that log jam. You're gonna have a log jam in that conference. And obviously, if Shelby and Burns, there's really not going to be one of those will be 1, the other one's going to be 2 out of the conference, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah.
But it's still, you want that home game. You want that top seed coming out of that conference.
Well, even traveling down the road.
Yeah.
You like that home game versus having to pack up and get out on the road.
Yeah, because down the road, and we talked about 3A a while ago with West Charlotte and Dudley and even Hickory. If we got about to mention Hickory, but the defending state champ. But now you look at 2A, you've got down the road possible teams you could play would be. I know a lot of people talk about Reedsville, but I think Monroe would be the deadlier team to play. Monroe's got some really good all-around talent. Reedsville's got 1 player, in my opinion. But
you're going to have to go through Monroe to get to Reedsville.
Well, and again, depends on where you're playing in that. Do you obviously get to do those 2 teams match up before they get to you? where they can knock each other out or knock one of them out. But again, you got to get through. You got to get through a lot of tough competition around here before you even get to that point. Especially in 2A and obviously in 3A too, because I guarantee you, it's going to come to a point. Shelby and Burns may play again. Shelby may play, or not Shelby. Shelby and Burns may play West Lincoln or Lincoln or Maiden, and then in 3A. I guarantee you, Crest, Kings Mountain, Ashbrook, South Point, they'll meet somewhere else. They'll play us that second game of the season.
Well, we said after the Crest South Point game and how that sort of turned on its head, and Crest ended up losing because they couldn't kick extra points.
Yeah,
you'll see them again.
Yeah, absolutely, you'll see. And I think, a lot of people that watched that that was at that Crest South Point game, if you want to take the overall, I mean, it doesn't matter the scoreboard's what counts, but Crest pretty much won that game except for the last few minutes of that ball game. They were winning,
and if they had kicked the extra points, they would have been ahead even with the South Point comeback.
Yeah. So, but then again, you never know. You a lot of things can change in the course. We can always look back and say, well, if they had done this or that, and possibly so, you could be right. But yeah, there's a lot of good games tonight. A lot of good matchups, a lot of good, and even that Asheville up in the mountains, Asheville and AC Reynolds, that'll be a good ball game for up there. Coming, that's another 3A group up in the mountains. We're talking about 3A teams possibly. So, and even Watauga, you got Watauga up there so well. So it'll be fun to watch them, to watch how this plays out, to see what transpires. And again, obviously 1A and 2A are their last games of the regular season. I think most of them are finished. They finish up tonight. Then next week, the state because of the hurricane, they gave the high school. They gave the high schools up in the mountains one extra week to try to get those games in.
Yeah.
Or get as many as in they could. So that'll be the games going on next week. Plus, Gaston County will play their games next week.
Well, you got North Lincolnton and East Lincolnton. That should be a interesting, meaningful game.
Oh yeah, it's a huge game.
And then, of course, you got the old rivalry of RS Central versus East Rutherford.
Yep.
How's that going to come out and affect the playoff berth and their rankings and seeds? Where do you go?
Yeah, because those I think they are. I don't know if they're tied in the conference play or one. Maybe one's ahead of the other, but yeah, and they're playing that game at East, and that's obviously that'll be big for that conference. Plus, that's just big for Rutherford County. That's always a tough matchup, regardless of how good one team is over the other. I don't want to say that's their Super Bowl, but they take pride in those county games up there, and so that'll be another fun game to watch. And then we got Hickory and Statesville. Kevin mentioned that one a while ago.
Yeah.
Statesville's not having a dominant year like they've normally had in the past. Hickory, obviously, they're rolling right now. Probably the team to beat in the West, in my opinion. But you never know what'll happen. You never know when these two teams lock up. Statesville may be able to control that Hickory speed and power. I doubt it, but you never can tell with games like this, because Statesville will be able to bring speed into the factor more so than the other teams that they played so far.
Well, guys, go ahead, Des.
I was just going to say, and you got West Lincolnton right here.
Yeah. Natural
rivalries. Lincolnton's been on a winning streak. So how does that factor in against West Lincoln?
Yeah, and West Lincoln, they've one of the running backs he was injured this year. They still had the Winnich kid and the Allen kid at quarterback, but their Gray, I think it's Gray Ponder, is that who their other running back was? He got hurt, so he was a big piece of that puzzle for them. They've still won a couple, or still won some without him, but that puts a lot of pressure on the other ones in that offense. So yeah, that game is going to be a big game too, as far as seeding purposes go in the playoffs.
All right, guys, let me go. I heard you ask about as far as next week's games. Let's go over some of those of games of note. Saturday, Avery County will be at Drone, and then nothing on Monday. Tuesday, Watauga plays Ashe County, and Asheville Christian Academy will play Owen. Then shift over to Thursday. It looks like Central Cabarrus at Hickory Ridge, New Hanover at South Brunswick. None of that. Crest will be playing Stuart Kramer next Thursday, Dennis. I don't know if you had that on your schedule.
that was the game that got hurricaned out, if you will.
Got you. And then Friday, some games of note here in the western part of North Carolina. Roberson at Asheville, Ford at West Iredale, Cox Mill at Concord, East Surrey at West Wilkes, Reynolds at Irwin, Freedom at High Brighton, Huss at South Point. Got a big game there. Kings Mountain will be at North Gaston, Bunker Hill at West Caldwell, Alexander Central at Ashe County, RS Central at Brevard. The Bonnie Cone Leadership Academy will be at Bessemer City next Friday. East Rutherford at Chase will be on Waggy for us next week, next Friday night. And then Watauga will be at South Caldwell, Tuscola at Pisgah, Polk County at Hendersonville, and East and West Henderson will face off in that. Bunker Hill will be at West Caldwell. I don't know if I mentioned that one. So a lot of games outside of our broadcasting area and of our broadcast team. So it doesn't look like we're going to have any broadcasting of the games next Friday night, folks, except the Chase and East Rutherford game on our Waggy station up on WAGY 107.5 FM. I assume we will have the Crest broadcast on Thursday, though, with our Crest broadcast team down at Stuart Kramer. All right, guys, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to go over the top 10, our power poll, and then we're also going over the standings because this is the week we got to bear down and figure out or kind of what the playoffs look like. And Dennis, the gang was talking about the RPIs and where that'll lead, but we'll look at the real standings in each conference here and our power poll in just a few minutes on KDCBroadcasting.com.
Ahoy, mateys! The shrimp boil is back at Peach Fish Box in Cherryville, and it's available every day. And don't forget about Frog Leg Friday. People are hopping in for it. And try their perch and chicken tender specials each and every Saturday, along with big dinner plates. Walk up or drive through. Call 704-802-4015 for Pete's Fish Box. Again, 704-802-4015. Pete's Fish Box, 116 West 1st Street in Cherryville. Open 3 to 8 Wednesday through Friday. And sponsors of the Friday Night Football pregame meal for KTC Broadcasting. DoorDash is now available from Pete's Fish Box.
Before you buy insurance, call and compare at Witherspoon Insurance in Shelby, featuring names like Progressive, National General, and State Auto. They do it all. Auto, home, life, health, commercial, motorcycle, RVs, golf carts, and indemnity bonds with low down payments. Call 704-480-9595 or drop by their office at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby, right across from First Baptist Church. Serving Cleveland County since 1986. Online at WitherspoonInsurance.com.
How can I make some extra money fast?
You ever hear about a service and go?
That sounds way too good to be true.
Well, I just started donating plasma with Parachute, and it's been a game changer. New grill for dad, date nights, and new toys for the kids. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Just download the Parachute Plasma app and schedule an appointment and visit your Parachute Plasma Donation Center at 1336 East Hickson Boulevard in Shelby. Visits are in and out while earning $400 per month.
I'm on my way.
Parachute Plasma, 1336 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Webb Chemical and Paper Company wants to thank our veterans for the cost they paid for our freedom. Thank you for the freedom to live in safety and pursue happiness, for freedom of speech, and for all freedoms that we daily take for granted. Peace has victories, but it takes brave men and women to win them. And a special salute to Navy veteran Floyd Williams from Webb Chemical and Paper Company, 2500 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at webchemicalandpaper.com. Call 704-482-4331.
Sism & Son Paint and Body Shop in Kings Mountain knows that we must never forget why we have and why we need our military. Our armed forces exist solely to ensure our nation is safe, so that each and every one of us can sleep soundly at night, knowing we have guardians at the gate. We salute our veterans. This veteran salute from Sism & Son Paint and Body Shop, 2027 Shelby Road in Kings Mountain. Call 704-739-0050. It's time to head to the old fishing hole, but first head to the great outdoors in Cherryville. Just arrived the new Mega Bass Jerkbaits. and the new Fitzgerald rods. And be sure to check out the Fenwick world-class rods and the Fenwick Elite rods. Also, the Catch the Fever Hellcat rods and the Catch the Fever Striper rods. Be ready. Don't let the big one get away. Hurry in now to the Great Outdoors, Highway 150 East in Cherryville, right behind McDonald's. Online at teamgreatoutdoors.com. Like them on Facebook, too.
And we're back on the Witherspoon Insurance and Shelby pregame show with Shannon, Dennis, and Kevin. Gonna be a good night of Shelby just high school football, just in general. So I mean, I think we have a video broadcast of Burns and Shelby this week.
Nailed
Kevin?
it, JP. You nailed it.
Nailed it. Okay. I'm pretty sure I remember hearing that, but I just want to make sure. Yeah.
He nailed it. What do you think? You think he nailed it, Shannon?
Oh yeah, out of the park.
All right, let's talk. Let's do our top 25, and then we'll get to the standings. Let's get to the What's Up Shopper Power Poll, brought to you by What'sUpShopper.com. We rank the teams in Gaston, Cleveland, and Lincoln County, and the teams they're in and their conferences they are in. We had to add a team this week into one of our conferences. They haven't been. They're not really that local, but they are in the conferences, and some of these teams haven't been like that competitive, but when they are, we put them in there and see where they go. So we'll get to that. Now we have 40 teams, and I'm going to go 40 through 26. How do you get points in this? 1 point for a 1A, 2 for a 2, 3 for a 3A, and 4 for a 4A victory. You lose 0 for losing to a 4A school. You lose 1 for losing to a 3A school. You lose 2 for a 2 and 3 for a 1A school. So that's how you acquire points. Tiebreakers are best record, head-to-head, and defensive points allowed. 40 through 26, Jefferson at 40, Ford at 39, 38 West Caldwell, 37 East Burke, 36 Chase, 35 Newton Conover, 34 Highland Tech, 33 Polk County, 32 St. Stephen's, 31 Cherryville, 30 Forest View, 29 Kramer, 28 East Gaston, 27 Mountain Island, and number 26, West Iredell. Shannon, 21 through 25.
All right, 25 North of Gaston with -2 power points, giving up 186 points. At number 24 is Bessemer City. They have -1 power point, giving up 219 points. At number 23 is Hendersonville, no power points. They've given up 177 points. At number 22 is Community School of Davidson with 2 power points, and they have given up 133 points. And at number 21, North Iredale with 3 power points, and they've given up 280 points. Dennis?
At number 20, the East Rutherford Cavaliers, they have 3 power points, and they've given up 162 points. At number 19, which sets up a big game next week, RS Central, they have 5 power points, and they've given up 239 points this year. And we have the Lincolnton Wolves at number 18. They have 5 power points, and they've given up 213 points so far. We've got at number 17, the Hunter Huss with 8 power points, and they've given up 164 points this year. And at number 16, we have the Brevard Blue Devils. They have 8 power points, and they've given up 110 points.
All right, at number 15, the Maiden Blue Devils with 8 power points. They're tied with West Lincoln, but they have given up more. They've given up 118 points. West Lincoln, shouldn't West Lincoln be behind Maiden on that one?
Who won the head-to-head matchup? There's a star there.
I can't see the star.
There's an asterisk there.
I don't deal with asterisks.
How do y'all guys get by in life? Because y'all can't read the sheet in front of you. You can't read the
I don't have my glasses. I can't see. Number 13 is Burns. So West Lincoln, Maiden's 15, West Lincoln's 14. Yeah, number 13 is Burns with they've given 115 points. They have 9 power points. At number 12, Bunker Hill, they've given up 182 points with 11 power points. And at number 11, Shelby, also with 11 power points, but they've given up less points than Bunker Hill at 140.
This is why you study punctuation in school, where you have an asterisk here, but in politics you had an apostrophe. So it's all important, folks. All right, let's move to number 10. We've got Bandy's Trojans with 12 power points, and they've given up 112 points. At number 9, the Kings Mountain Mountaineers, 15 power points, and they've given up 152 points. At number 8, South Point, 16 power points, and they've given up 91 points. At number 7, the Ashbrook Greenway, 17 power points, and they've given up 103 points. At number 6, the East Lincoln Mustangs, 19 power points, and they've given up 169 points.
All right, guys, that means the top 5. And we got a little bit of a shakeup in the top 5 this week after last week's games with, some teams losing in the top 10. Ashbrook. So Ashbrook falling out of the top 10, top 5 did mess up or change up the top 5. Number 5, the Crest Chargers at 7-1, minus 113 power points. New to the poll, undefeated. They've beat 3 4A schools, I believe was my count when I did this. And then they've mowed through their conference as well. At 9-0, only 75 points given up on the season, the Corvion Community Cardinals. And we'll see how they go forward here once we get to the playoffs. But right now, undefeated, and they've scored, I think, over 400-something points, Shannon, and give up 75. So whatever level, we don't know nothing about them. They're pretty good at what they're doing, at least, and that's where they've earned a lot of points there, and they're number 4 in the power poll, tied with Crest. They get the tiebreaker undefeated there. Now, then we got another head-to-head matchup tiebreaker. North Lincoln and Statesville. Statesville's got more points, but with Ashbrook losing, Ashbrook was between the two teams, and that puts North Lincoln at number 2 now that they're beside each other. They win the head-to-head matchup and get to jump ahead of them. And when you're against each other in the poll, the head-to-head you'll swap. So North Lincoln takes 2. Hickory will be the number 1 as they have been. So there's your power poll. Hickory stays at number 1 right now. We'll see what happens. North Lincoln and East Lincoln face tonight. Hickory and States will face off each other tonight. So we got 1 versus 3, 2 versus 6. Crest and Kings Mountain 5 versus 9. Who's South Point playing tonight?
They are playing North Gaston.
Oh, so no big matchup with that one. And then Shelby and Burns at 11 and 13 are a big matchup there. So, all right, next we were going to look at the
Isn't Corvian, isn't that the school, the guy that was over the high school when Tracy McGrady was in school? Doesn't he run Corvian now?
I have no idea.
That was a joke. The guy's probably in prison, but yeah.
Okay.
Corvian's I think they're like a charter school.
Oh, okay.
Private charter
the way
school
Dennis
or something.
is I'm on this one on the power one though, Shannon.
Hmm?
The way Dennis, the Armani jersey behind Dennis is, it looks like I'm wearing it standing behind Dennis in the screen.
Oh, okay.
Look. Oh yeah, I see that. Gotcha. Okay.
Well, think about it,
I was
Kevin.
just talking about. I was like, what?
Look,
Yeah, it does look like it. Yeah.
Armani came to mind this week because if you remember when Appalachian played the Delaware Blue Hens.
yeah, we whipped Joe Flacco's butt. He can't beat Tom Brady cannot beat Joe Flacco, and Joe Flacco can't beat Armani Edwards.
There you go.
So Tom Brady is not the GOAT because he couldn't beat Appalachian if he wanted to.
Who was quarterback in
We beat
Michigan when Appalachian beat them?
Oh, what was that loser's name?
Didn't that guy went to play baseball for the Yankees?
It might have been Hennett. Chad, well, the guy that played with the Cardinals too.
Yeah, he played. He played baseball.
I don't know.
He didn't play football. Yeah.
I don't know. He wasn't as good as Armani Edwards. All right, let's look up some standings. How about we'll start in the Big South, and then get through that one. And let's see. We'll go Crest standings. All right, full standings. So South Point is the folks at home watching. Oh, a little reminder, the folks on the radio, you can watch this show live on YouTube every Friday night, and all of our shows here on Friday night. We'll have the Red Zone channel 7:30 to 9:30 live scores from around the area, and then we'll have the post game after that 10 to 11:45. South Point, Crest, and Kings Mountain tied at 4-1 in the three-way tie. Then Ashbrook is at 4-2. Huss is at 3-2. So that's how the conference is shaping up. South Point plays North Gaston tonight, and somebody else next week. Huss next week.
Chad Henney.
Yeah, there you go.
Chad Henney.
There you go. So South Point finishes with North Gaston and Huss. If you're wondering about the South Point folks, Crest and Kings Mountain, they finish up tonight, right? No, you guys got. Never mind. Kings Mountain will be at North Gaston next week, and Crest will be at Kramer. Is that correct, Dennis?
That is correct.
Okay. So there's your next week's games for those, how that conference will shake out. So Crest and Kings Mountain's big tonight. One of them's going to have one loss still. up against South Point. Did South Point beat both of them?
Yes.
Okay. Who beat South Point? Ashbrook?
Yes.
Ashbrook beat South Point.
Well, that's just a...
South Point's got, I mean, they've won the conference outright because they've beaten Crest and Kings Mountain.
But what if Huss beats them next week and then...
I'm just saying, if Huss ain't going to beat them.
But, Kevin, I reiterate, go
No,
back.
if Huss beats them next week, then Crest or Kings Mountain is champion.
Huss is not going to beat them.
But
I'm just telling you, Shannon.
I'm telling you, Huss won't beat them.
go back to the North Carolina high school seedings. It doesn't matter.
I'm just looking at just
they
saying.
go by the
about,
RPI.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the conference or the what the
Yeah,
I guess the kids will say put a patch on her leather jacket or something. Yeah, I guess you could put any patch on a leather jacket really and get away with it. I don't know.
Is anybody going to take off the patch? Has anyone ripped a patch off a leather jacket?
I'm sure somebody has.
That's
had a
is
crazy
do we
girlfriend
have leather
probably-
jacket stolen valors?
Do what?
Well, not the girlfriend,
Yeah.
God almighty.
Yeah. But you're right, Dennis. That's the on paper, South Point, if they went out, they'll be the, if you want to do the air quotes, conference champ. But then if they're going to do the RPI, if the state's going to do it that way, then let me ask you this then. If they do not just in any conference, if the number one seed gets upset, let's say like, you got a 1 versus 2, like Shelby and Burns are playing tonight, whichever one. Okay. If Shelby has the higher RPI than Burns, but Burns wins tonight, would that make them? How would they do that? I don't.
Well, if their one loss is the same,
right,
the deciding factor would then revert to the RPI.
I got you. They got to have the same law. Okay, I'm with you now. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Fuzzy math, sir. Fuzzy math.
Yeah.
All right. Looking over at the 1A, 2A Mountain Foothills Conference. This is where Brevard leads. 3-0 in the conference. East Rutherford and RS Central play tonight at 2-1 apiece. Hendersonville 1-2, Chase 1-2, Polk County 0-3. So Brevard out in front in this conference. In our power poll, Brevard is 16, East Rutherford 20, and RS Central 19. For you folks wondering how it's kind of where they land with how their season has gone. All right, then we'll go over to the Catawba Valley 2A. Or Lincoln County folks have the standings here. Lincoln 5-1 in the conference, 5-4 overall. Bunker Hill 4-1 in the conference, 6-2 overall. Bunker Hill though was blanked in their only loss against Maine. It's just as fuzzy as the Big South over here.
Mm-hmm.
West Lincoln's in third, and Maine's in third, and Bandy's is tied for third, and Bandy's is in fifth at 3-2. West Lincoln beat Maiden. Maiden beat Bunker Hill. Lincoln plays West Lincoln tonight. So if West Lincoln can pull off a victory, Bunker Hill could slide right back into the conference championship, Shannon, with the way things work out. But we'll have to see how that works.
Yeah.
What are you doing? We got Tyrannosaurus Baron here right now. Yeah, that's what that sound was you heard. He's doing the whole.
Yeah.
He's pretending to be a T-Rex right now. That's his thing. Then we got Bandy's at 3-2, Newton Conner 1-4, East Burke and West Caldwell haven't won a conference game yet on the season, so that's how that lays out for that. Now let's look over. You were asking about Shelby and Burns, Shannon.
Oh, I mean, I just mentioned them a while ago. That was just
Another conference championship game tonight, basically the way it works out. Shelby and Burns both 5-0, Bessemer 3-2, East Gaston 2-3. So. There's your conference championship tonight. And I assume the RPIs work out that whoever wins that is going to be ahead of the other. We'll see.
Yeah, but like in that situation there, Dennis, that's what I was talking about. Let's say one of those two teams had a loss coming in.
Yeah.
And then tonight, a conference loss coming in. Tonight, the other one wins. So now they both have one conference loss. Would they put the – you know what I'm saying? Like how would they determine, they said, well, this team's they had the same record, same conference record, but the team that wins the conference may have a lower RPI than the one team that, the other team with one loss. How would they do?
I don't think they care about your conference as far as that one.
Well,
they don't. Well, who's in it? But
it's one of those things, Shannon, where sometimes you start, like the old stretch figures. They stretch that out to find some way to break the tie.
Right.
And in this case, they utilize the RPI to do that. Now, how they come up with the RPI, I don't have a clue.
Yeah.
But that's the number that they, quote, drop down to. We've eliminated this, we've eliminated that, we've eliminated. Oh, wait a minute, we got an RPI here. We can compare their RPIs, and whoever has the better one will declare the champion.
That makes sense.
Well, over in the this one don't even have a name. It's Conference A, 1A, 2A. Corvion 6-0 overall, 9-0. I mean 6-0 in the conference, 9-0 overall. I told you 420 points scored against 75 given up. They play Mountain Island Charter tonight, who's 4-2 overall, 5-4. I mean 4-2 in the conference, 5-4 overall. I'll get that right in a second. They've given up 147. So first and third between there. Asking who Corvion's played for the folks wondering.
Yep.
Harding, Ballantyne, Ridge, Garinger, and then conference Winston-Salem, Christ the King, Bishop McGinnis, and Carver. So are you ready for them, Shannon?
Those three schools have won like one game total. Harding, Marvin Ridge, or whoever it is, something Ridge and Garinger.
Ballantyne Ridge? You never heard of that?
That's a new school. It's got to be. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like Corvion last year, they may have won one or two, but they've done some. They got some NIL money, I reckon, given out to some of the Charlotte kids.
NIL.
So another explanation for the folks wondering, like, so the way the standings work, folks, it isn't but there is no opinion on it, and it doesn't mean that nobody here thinks this team can beat that team based on this. It means how successful a season you've had so far, and at 9-0, that's where the Corvion Community Cardinals have landed, and we'll see. Of course, if they lose one game in the 1A, Shannon, they lose 3 points and they're all the way down to 10.
But in the real world, Kevin,
9 out of the top 10 would be Corvion Community.
Yep.
That's not what we're saying.
I know, but actually more than, if you go probably 24 out of 25.
Football
would
fans
be Corvion
cannot
Community.
understand the word standings.
No, I get it.
Y'all don't understand. If you college football fan, if you like college football and you like high school football, if somebody says the word standings to you, you lose your minds. Even the state of North Carolina, because didn't we just not have this talk? We just said, well, here's the standings. Shelby's in first, and the North State of North Carolina will be like, well, our RPI says.
You're right. Yeah, I agree.
These are standings. For you folks who've ever watched Major League Baseball for 120 years, that's how standings work. So right now, Corvion's in fourth place. Come get some.
But if Corvion...
No buts. If Corvion played John, played the Dallas Cowboys, played anybody.
They'd beat the Cowboys.
Right now, Dennis, y'all are in fifth, and you need to get over it.
No problem with that.
You know why you're in fifth? Because you play lackadaisical 2A schools instead of the big schools. If you would have played a 3A school, like instead of playing Shelby and Burns and got those wins there, you'd have more points than Corvion right now. So quit playing them sorry teams like Shelby. Play somebody tough like Corvion does.
Hot dogs and gate money, Kevin.
Also, you know what else? If y'all missed a week, so you'd be fourth if you didn't miss your week there, Dennis, too. So don't worry about that one. All right, listen, we got to take another break. I got to see the kids down the hall. They're here. Barron's here. JP's got to go get some fish in a minute, and because we got Pete's Fish Box coming up for us, Dennis.
Yeah, that's some good stuff right there.
Oh, real quick, Hickory. We didn't do this one. Hickory in the 3A Western Foothills is 6-0. North Lincoln's 5-1. Statesville 5-1. North Lincoln's beat everybody, but the Hickory Red Tornadoes. And North plays East tonight. East is 4-2. So Statesville can back into, I guess, the second place thing. I don't know about that. Like we said,
I'll make a prediction,
with the RPIs
Kevin.
on this. What you got?
We're talking about RPI. I think the number one seed in the West will be the Hickory Red Tornadoes.
Do you find that on the Athletic Association, or is that a Max Preps thing? The RPI.
It's a
stuff?
Max Preps kind of.
Is
thing.
it?
And I don't really follow Max Preps.
I don't even know.
I wonder how you would even find it. Anyway, all right, I'll see what I can find. All right, JP. We're going to Hickory is ranked 16th overall according to Max Preps in the state of North Carolina. If that means anything to you.
Still got Dudley in the West.
So they're saying what?
They got them, but
they got 15 teams better than Hickory.
That's North Carolina. I think that's total, isn't it? Like everybody combined.
Well, I know that's what I'm saying. Correct.
Not 3A, but like 1A through 4A.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna pick 4A schools. 4A schools.
I started to say
they're gonna say 4A. Garinger's better than Hickory because they're 4A.
And
they used to Kevin
And
Hastings.
That's not what I said.
And Kevin, they're going to favor the schools east
Oh, yeah.
of 77.
Oh, yeah. All right, JP, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll talk. We got to do predictions. So KDCBroadcasting.com.
You're listening to The Boss, WHS, Shelby, North Carolina, your beach oldies and sports stations. Online at KDCBroadcasting.com.
From the KTC Broadcasting Weather Center, here's your forecast for Cleveland and Gaston counties. Mostly cloudy skies tonight, lows around 60. Partly sunny and nice on Saturday, highs in the mid-70s. Partly cloudy Saturday evening, then becoming mostly cloudy. Lows in the mid-50s. We turn clocks back 1 hour Saturday night. Then for Sunday, mostly cloudy and cooler with highs around 70. From the KTC Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Johnny Cottle for WOHS and WCSL.
Currently from the KTC Broadcasting Studios, it's
6:14, and the temperature is 71 degrees.
Before you buy insurance, call and compare at Witherspoon Insurance in Shelby, featuring names like Progressive, National General, and State Auto. They do it all. Auto, home, life, health, commercial, motorcycle, RVs, golf carts, and indemnity bonds with low down payments. Call 704-480-9595 or drop by their office at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby, right across from First Baptist Church. Serving Cleveland County since 1986, online at WitherspoonInsurance.com.
I'm Calvin Hastings, and I want to invite you to join myself along with Captain Ron as we broadcast live this Saturday, November 2nd, during the grand opening of the Green Leaf Relief. Now open at 2264 Lincoln Highway, 150 East in Cherryville. We'll be there from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with free Dairy Queen hot dogs, chips, and soft drinks. Plus, register to win some great prizes. See Large Marge, the Pink Cadillac, the Green Machine, and the Patriotic Floppy Man. And check out the new Green Leaf Relief, this area's new CBD store with natural pain relief, including CBD gummies, hemp flower, and Jeff's Wonder Cream. Find out how it all started with a dream and some cream, plus CBD for pets. Locally veteran-owned and operated by Jeff, Pizza Paul, Sunshine, and Jordan. Ask about 10% discounts for veterans and 10% discounts during Hippie Hour every day from 4:20 to 5:20. Plan now to be there for the grand opening of the Green Leaf Relief. Now open at 2264 Lincoln and Highway 150 East in Cherryville, right across from Ace Hardware. Online at tglr.net. Like them on Facebook too. Buying or selling your home or land? Then talk with Diane Ledbetter Real Estate in Shelby. Chances are you know Diane. She's been working in the local real estate market for over 37 years. Her expertise and knowledge of our area can help you get the best dollar for your home or land. Just call 704-481-7523 or visit their office at 2015 East Marion Street in Shelby, right across from the Cleveland Mall, and online at DianeLedbetterRealEstate.com. Support student success in Cleveland County Schools by electing Gloria Sherman to serve on the Cleveland County School Board. Gloria has spent 44 years serving students, teachers, parents, and our community in various roles as an educator. She currently serves as Program Director for Communities in Schools of Cleveland County. Gloria believes that strong leadership is the key to success in any organization. Cast your vote for Gloria Sherman, a passionate candidate with knowledge, experience, and integrity. This announcement was paid for by the committee to elect Gloria Sherman to the Cleveland County School Board.
James River Equipment Company in Shelby wants to take this time to say thanks to our veterans for your service. Your dedication to protecting our country during this time of need deserves all the love from us as we recognize your efforts to give the utmost respect and love to all of our veterans. Thank you for your service. This Veteran Salute is brought to you by everyone at James River Equipment Company, 703 North Post Road, Highway 180 North in Shelby.
What can they do at Butler's Tire and Auto Repair in Kings Mountain? How about everything? And I bet you didn't know they can even replace an engine. If you need engine replacement, they can do it. Hey, that's not all. I bet you didn't know they can even replace or build a transmission. And of course, they do tune-ups, oil changes, brake work, and yes, they sell tires at unbeatable prices, and they do North Carolina inspections too. All of this and more at Butler's Tire and Auto Repair, 205 East King Street in Kings Mountain, right across from KFC. Like them on Facebook too.
And we're back on the Witherspoon Shelby pregame show with Shannon, Kevin, and Dennis. I'm going to leave it in their capable hands because I'm going
It's win percentage.
Yeah.
Yeah, JP, we're talking RPI. Some folks wondering what's going on. How about in the 3A West? We've got the dog pounds in the house. We got a bit new Cleveland Brown fan in here. Barron is a big Chubb fan. He's got his dog. He's got his ears on. Y'all hear that noise in the background? It's him howling. It's Halloween. He's got his dog pound hat on. He's ready to go Browns. Make sure you get a picture of that for me or whatever. All right. So Crest is number 1, Dennis, in the 3A West RPI over South Point. Eat it, Red Raiders fans, right?
Yeah, Crest is 1, Hickory's 8, Dudley's 11. Irwin's 3rd.
So it's win percentage, opponent's win percentage, and your opponent's win percentage.
Well, Kings Mountain is 13.
And that's and then you divide those by 3, and that's what you get at the end for your RPI. Now, if folks wondering about Crest South Point, my best guess is South Point has not played a game yet. If they were 7-1, their winning percentage would be a little bit higher, although the opponents wouldn't be because they'd be lower. So I'm not exactly sure. They're let's see. Crest is 0. Look, once you go to like 5 decimal points, Dennis, for some mathematics on these things, and like, why can't we just get like mine? You got 27 points, Shannon, and these guys are like, well, tonight we got 0.9368 points, and if we win, South Point might have 0.65392 points. So we got to work on that tonight.
Well, see, and you said South Point. So South Point is at 6-1, Crest is 7-1, not including tonight's games. They still both have 2 games left.
Correct.
Yeah.
So if Crest wins out, I don't see how they would leave that number 1 spot.
Well, it just depends on what happens with the opponent's win percentage and the opponent's opponents, because that's why Hickory's down at 8 right now. Because look at the opponent's win percentage for Crest is 69. Hickory's is at 36. Like, Hickory's opponents haven't won anything. They're getting destroyed by their opponent's win percentage. Now, the opponent's win percentage, Hickory's is 5, is higher than Crest.
Yeah.
But the opponent's win percentage is almost double as far as the successful the teams as Crest has played. And that, I guess Hickory's will go up a little bit tonight because they'll be playing Statesville, so that'll improve with that one too. Because they're, 8-1 right now?
Yeah. And so, so Crest still has Kings Mountain tonight, Kramer next week. South Point has North Gaston tonight, and then Huss next week.
Mm-hmm. Kings Mountain finishes at North Gaston next week.
Yeah, so I don't think those two would – I don't know.
You don't think anything's going to change?
I really don't. I don't unless – now, Hickory's will obviously move up because of Statesville.
Mm-hmm.
And North Lincoln – well, East Lincoln's not even on there.
East is,
I don't know where they are on that.
20.
They're 20th. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. How that's going to play out. Where's Ashbrook on that thing?
Ashbrook, that is a good question. I haven't seen them. They are
they
at 12.
Were above Kings Mountain.
Yeah, they're at 12 in the 3A. All right, let's go over to the 2A. Reedsville is number 1. Monroe, number 2. Randleman, 3. Shelby, 4. Bunker Hill, 8. Burns 12. Community School of Davidson, 15. Maiden, 17. Lincoln, 18. East Rutherford, 21. West Lincoln, 24. Bandy's, 25. Hendersonville, 26. East Gaston, 30. On the outside of 32 right now, RS Central, Newton Conover, Chase, and are some of our local teams looking on the outside in the 2A. So Shelby sitting at 4. Burns at 12 right now. And then over in the 1A, Mount Airy is going to be your number 1 team. What just happened? Oh, my code. That's stupid. Anyway.
Defending state champion Mount Airy.
The Granite Bears are 9-0. The Murphy Bulldogs are number 2. Corvion is number 7. We were just talking about them. Cherokee's down at 11. And the 1A Starmount 5 for some of you folks. Bessemer City at 15 right now. That's a dangerous 5-4 team that was 2 of those losses against Shelby and
you're right.
You're
right.
And Burns. Mountain Island at 5-4. We'll see about them later tonight. Cherville's in right now at 25. There's only 36 teams in the 1A West, so 32 get in. So outside looking in right now. Winston-Salem Prep, Polk County, South Davidson, Rosman, Highland Tech's in right now. Jefferson's in right now. Cherville folks looking at a possible Let's see, 33, probably Mitchell, Robbinsville, Union Academy, Cherokee, Corvion, possible Corvion in the first round.
They're going to have to travel.
All right, we got to take another break. When we come back, we're going to start picking some of our local games on KDC broadcast. Oh, JP's not here yet. Calvin's got to start running. He'll be here in just 1 second. Tonight's broadcast, remember, we've got Bessemer City at Cherville on WCSL 1590 AM, 92.9 FM. Kings Mountain and Crest, 101.5 FM, 1390 AM. RS Central Hilltoppers at East Rutherford Cavaliers, 107.5 FM and 1320 AM, WJGYFM.com. And North Lincoln at East Lincoln is our Lincoln County Game of the Week on LincolnCounty.com. YouTube channel.
Hey, so Tim Pruitt sent me this. He used to be the coach at Cherville, right?
Yeah, correct.
Coach Pruitt. So he says the playoff seeding, conference ties, if three-way or more are drew by the conferences, and the rest goes to the RPI. So I guess they draw, and then they go to the RPI. Okay.
And all the coaches will go some restaurant or something on Saturday morning, meet, pull straws. And like I said, it ultimately, as you go down the list of things that you can do, RPI enters into it, which I think is,
And he told me Corvion won a playoff game. I didn't realize that. And they almost won too. So,
well, there you go. Yeah. All right. So the last broadcast, Shelby at Burns, both video broadcasts. We have a home and away team video broadcast of that game, so you can see two different video broadcasts: the Shelby and the Burns broadcast. Well, there's Calvin. There was the Wolfman in there, but he's not in there anymore. So, all right, we'll be back in a few minutes. KDCBroadcasting.com.
Ahoy, mateys! The shrimp boil is back at Peach Fish Box in Cherryville, and it's available every day. And don't forget about Frog Leg Friday. People are hopping in for it. And try their perch and chicken tender specials each and every Saturday, along with big dinner plates. Walk up or drive through. Call 704-802-4015 for Pete's Fish Box. Again, 704-802-4015. Pete's Fish Box, 116 West 1st Street in Cherryville. Open 3 to 8 Wednesday through Friday. And sponsors of the Friday Night Football pregame meal for KTC Broadcasting. DoorDash is now available from Pete's Fish Box.
Ladies and gentlemen, North Carolina Commissioner of Insurance, Mike Causey.
This election has been anything but normal. Hurricane Helene has upended this election. Never before have I seen this scope of damage, destruction, and devastation. Because of the storm, I have not been out campaigning. This isn't the time for politics. I've been in Western North Carolina helping families put together their lives and make sure they get the assistance and services they need. I want to thank the first responders, emergency management teams, and volunteers helping clean up and restore some order for our communities. My focus has been helping people, and that will remain my priority. It's been an honor to serve our state as Commissioner of Insurance, and with your support, I will continue serving you. Paid for by Mike Causey Campaign.
The Great Outdoors in Cherryville knows that America's veterans have served their country with the belief that democracy and freedom are ideals to be upheld around the world. We remember and honor those who have died. We thank God for all the veterans who stand by our side for freedom. This memorial salute is from the Great Outdoors, 112 North Cherry Street in Cherryville. Online at teamgreatoutdoors.com. Call 704-445-8848.
Mark your calendar. Monday, December 9th. That's the final day to get your orders in at Logos to Go in Shelby. Get your Christmas monogramming done now. Again, Monday, December 9th is the cutoff date. Logos to Go can monogram most anything for you. And see the new high school blankets in stock, and area middle school blankets are available. Call Tammy today at 704-482-7482. Again, December 9th is the cutoff day for Christmas monogramming at Logos to Go, 424 South Lafayette Street in Shelby. Like them on Facebook too.
The Uptown Shelby Association would like to take this time to thank our veterans for their service. We want to thank you for your time, bravery, and sacrifice for our country. We're grateful for what you have done to maintain America's freedom. To all the soldiers, past and present, we thank you for the sacrifices you have made. This veteran salute is from everyone at the Uptown Shelby Association, 211 South Trade Street in Uptown Shelby.
Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, bases loaded, and 2 strikes. Now, that's a tough situation for any team. And not having your taxes done properly is a problem for you, too. That's when you call on Kimberly Spicer, CPA and public attorney. She has the team you can count on. She can assist you with your small business and your tax preparation. In Shelby, call 704-482-4358, and in Forest City, 828-245-8351. Kimberly Spicer, CPA and attorney, 214 North Morgan Street in Shelby and 118 East Main Street, Forest City. All right, now back to the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show.
And welcome back to the Dennis is explaining something. Shannon. Welcome back to the Witherspoon Insurance of Shelby pregame show, kickoff show here on KTC Broadcasting. We're going to preview some of our local games here on the broadcast. I want to say hello to all of our fans and listeners and viewers out there in video land, all of our special viewers and anyone out there. Let's see. Let's look at Shannon. Let's do the top 3 bars. We'll go from right to left. Top 3. Do you not have one? Where's yours go?
I don't know. Oh, right here. I got it.
Okay. We'll go to the top third one, then we'll move to the middle, and then finish on the far left from the top part. We ain't going to do the ones on the bottom because we ain't got time for all that. So we're going to start real quick. We're not do Irwin and Ash. We're going to do our conferences here. How about I'm just going to tell you what I want to do. How about that? Highland Tech at East Gaston. Highland Tech at East Gaston tonight. Does the Rambling Wreck have anything that they won? They lost last week to Thomas Jefferson. Jefferson get off the schneid. Does the Wreck have anything for East Gaston here, Shannon?
Well, Highland's coming in averaging 17, giving up 30. East is averaging 20, giving up 31. I'll say this: East Gaston's a lot better than their record. Seeing them play Shelby last week, and I mentioned this as well. They're only a few players away from being a really good football team, and I still believe that. And I think East Gaston is going to be too much for Highland. I got them winning big, 42-10 over Highland Tech.
Well, you're pretty accurate. They're favored by 37.
Okay.
Is that who you're going with, Dennis?
I think I'll go with East Gaston.
Okay. All right, so the next game is North Iredale and West Iredale. The Raiders at the Warriors. And I'll tell you what happened last year if you give me like 2 seconds. West Iredale won 40-7 last year. What you got on this one, Dennis?
Well, North Iredale's 3-6. They're a 3A team, and so is West Iredale, who is 2-6. So they're pretty even. But North Iredale is favored by 7. So look for a slobber knocker game, Kevin.
All right, got a slobber knocker. Yeah, we do.
Yeah, North Iredale. I think they'll win this. I got 35-21.
Really, it's 29-15 right now. Currently, did you look over at my screen? They started early.
Oh no, no.
They did. They started early. So right now, North Iredale is up 29-15 in this matchup. All right, our next game, we've got Fred T. Ford at St. Stephen's. Ford has a losing streak here. And last year they lost 44-18. This year they go on the road to face the Tigers to face the Indians. Dennis, what you got in this one?
Well, Fred T. Ford is 0-8, and St. Stephen's is 1-8, and St. Stephen's is favored by 7. So I'm going with St. Stephen's since they're at home.
Yeah, I think it'll be 34-6, St. Stephen's over Ford.
All right, we've got last year, Kramer and Forest View faced off, and the Jaguars won 54-20. 54-20 Jaguars, but this year might be different. See what Dennis has on the Kramer Storm and the Forest View Jaguars. Like I said, last year, Forest View with a big win, 54-20. This is the Big South action tonight.
Well, the Kramer Storm is limped to a 1-7 record. Forest View has hobbled to a 1-8 record, but Forest View is favored since they're the home team by 11 tonight. So I'm going to take Forest View to defend their home turf tonight. They're 11-point favorites, so I think it's going to probably be like 24-12.
I think both teams are ready for basketball to begin, which it will begin soon. Kramer's only averaging 17, getting 34. Forest View's averaging just 10 points a game. They're giving up 35. I got Kramer winning this one 20-10.
Okay.
All right, next matchup, South Point and the North Gaston Wildcats. South Point last year's matchup won 35-14. So the Red Raiders looking to win the Big South this year. Dennis, what do you got between the Wildcats and the Red Raiders this week?
All right, South Point. Let me get my page unstuck there. South Point is 6-1, including that victory over Crest for all you Crest haters out there. North Gaston is 3-5. South Point is favored slightly by 40 points. I think South Point is getting ready for playoff, and they're going to win this one big tonight. They're going to beat North Gaston by 48-6.
Well, they're playing some really good football. Quarterback Patrick Blee, and he has two running backs, Ford and Crawford. All of them have at least 500 yards rushing on the season. South Point's defense is really good. They're only giving up 13 points a game. North Gaston, they're just scoring 16 a game, giving up 23. I think South Point wins this one, Dennis. I got it 49-6 over North Gaston.
Okay.
All right, Gastonia, Huss and Ashbrook. It's that time. Last year, a 4-7 Green Wave team beat Huss 24-9. Ashbrook's already beat the only team to beat the Red Raiders this year. In that matchup, Dennis, what do you got between the Ashbrook Green Wave and the South Point Red Raiders?
Well, Huss is 4-3, but a much improved 4-3 this year, Kevin. Ashbrook is 7-2, a surprising 7-2. They lost to Crest, and they've played pretty well overall for an Ashbrook team this year, probably better than they figured. And Ashbrook is favored by 19. So I think Hunter Huss is going to score about 14 points, and that should put Ashbrook probably around 31, 32 points.
Well, Huss has a quarterback, Javarian Brown. He's thrown for 1,255 yards this year, and he's rushed for 572 yards. If you stop him, then you're going to stop Huss. It's like he's a one-man show because he don't have anybody to help him. Ashbrook, they're averaging 29 a game. They're giving up 11 a game. The quarterback, A.J. McClain, and running back Martino Smith are leading the Green Wave offense. It's games at Ashbrook. Do they still play for the bell?
Yes.
Is that what this is? So, they'll might as well just leave the bell at Ashbrook if they don't have it yet, because they're going to win it tonight, 42-21 over Huss.
So that leaves our next matchup, the Brevard Blue Devils against the Polk County Wolverines. And last year's matchup between these two teams, the Blue Devils pulled out a 49-21 victory over the Wolverines. Dennis, and what you got over here in this one?
Well, Brevard is 5-2, and they're traveling down to Polk Central, which is 1-6. Brevard is favored by 45 points, and I think that's going to be about the way it turns out tonight. I think your team from Polk County is probably going to have 6, and your team from Brevard is going to have about 48.
Yeah, I got it 56-6 Brevard. It shouldn't even be close.
All right, next matchup, Hendersonville is at the Chase Trojans. Last year, though, the Chase Trojans won 40-19 over the Hendersonville Bearcats. This year on the farm, they've had a rough year so far, but they do play at home tonight, and they will play, I think, at home next week against East Rutherford. So do the Trojans host the Bearcats tonight? Dennis, what you got in this one?
Hendersonville is 3-4. And Chase is 2-6, and Hendersonville is favored by 24 points. So I'm not sure how much that home field advantage over there is going to help them in Sandy Mush, but I got a feeling that it will be a little closer than the 24 points. I'm going to say Chase is going to get 14 and Hendersonville 28.
Well, Chase, as bad as the season they're having, they got the conference leading rusher in Zach Frazier. He has over 1,000 yards on the season. Dennis and Kevin, I got Chase winning at home in this one. I think they're going to pull off the upset because they've had 2 wins under their belt. People are fired up. The farms are getting ready to burn it down because they're so excited. Chase 28, Hendersonville 27.
Wow.
Yeah. Close one.
All right. Let's see where we at. Bandy's in Bunker Hill, Shannon. I'm gonna have to let you guys handle this. I'm gonna go handle some things here in a minute.
Sure.
So right now we're going back up. Bandy's in Bunker Hill, up here. We're up here.
Up here? Okay. All right. So, Dennis, let me find my paperwork here. I got it somewhere. All right. So Bunker Hill. They have one conference loss. Bandy's has 2 losses. In conference play, Bunker Hill's averaging 28. They're giving up 22. Quarterback Eli Helms has 939 yards on the season. And running back Jason Willis has over 1,100 yards rushing. And in conference play, Bandy's averaging 26. They're giving up 16. They're led by quarterback Brady Sweat. He has over 1,200 yards on the season. And running back Tanner Stewart, who has just over 700 yards rushing. Playing it, it's. Are they playing at Bandy's or are they playing at Bunker Hill?
They're playing at Bunker Hill.
Yeah, I don't know. I've got Bandy's winning this one in a close one because I think they remember last year. They remember the losses and stuff like that, and I think they win this one 28-24 over Bunker Hill.
Well, this is going to be one of those flip a coin games. Bandy's is 6-2. Bunker Hill is 6-2. Bunker Hill is favored by 5. It's less than a touchdown.
Yeah.
And I think Bunker Hill's going to defend the home turf, and they're going to win by 7, not 5. 7.
7 points. Okay. All right. So the next game is West Caldwell. We'll be traveling over to East Burke. The only good thing about this game, Dennis, East Burke has a beautiful stadium up there. One of the best stadiums, I think, in Western North Carolina for high school football. It's really big stands. Obviously, they probably don't fill it, but it's nice to play up there. But both teams are coming in winless in conference play. Go ahead and get the basketballs pumped up and ready. But I think East Burke will win this one at home, and I got them winning 14-0.
Well, according to this, West Caldwell's 0-8. But East Burke is 1-6, so they have the better record.
Yeah.
And as a result of that, they're favored by 24.
Oh, wow.
Believe it or not, at home field advantage.
There you go.
I think you're going to get something like a 12-24 game in this one.
Who do you think's going to win?
Well, of course, you got to look at the higher rated team here, East Burke.
Okay.
I mean, they have a beautiful stadium, as you see it.
Yeah, they do. They really do have a nice stadium up there.
Yeah.
If you've never been, East Burke and Polk County's got a nice one too. The beautiful backdrop at Polk County, but East Burke, the stands are it's like they're built straight up instead of built out. They go up, and it's just a nice. You can see there's not a bad seat in the house. So yeah, that's West Caldwell at East Burke. Next game, Dennis, West Lincoln. The Rebels will be traveling over to Lincolnton to play the Wolves. Yeah. What you think about this one? This is going to be a big matchup.
Well, West Lincoln is 6-3. Lincolnton is 5-4. But they are playing at Lincolnton, and Lincolnton has had several wins in a row, haven't they?
Yeah, 5.
And Lincolnton is favored by 12 points. I hate to break Terry Reinhardt's heart, but I got to go with Lincolnton Wolves at home, but I'm going to cut that margin down to 6 points. So Lincolnton beats West Lincoln tonight in a slugfest, and they're going to beat them 21-14.
Well, we mentioned this a while ago. Right now, Lincoln and Bunker Hill both have one conference loss, and you have West Lincoln Bandies and Maiden. They have 2 conference losses. So a West Lincoln win tonight would make this more interesting than it is right now. West Lincoln comes in averaging 25. They're giving up 17. Quarterback Gideon Allen and running back Jalen Winnick, who has 972 yards on the season for the Rebels. That leads their offense. Lincoln comes in, like you mentioned a while ago, riding a 5-game winning streak, averaging 26, and they're giving up 24 a game. Quarterback Rashad Lynch, he has over 1,000 yards passing, and running back Traylon Ballstew has over 1,000 yards rushing. I'm sure the stands will be full on both sides. And when's the last time a Lincoln game was full? Just because of the seasons they've had in the past. It's been a long time, but it'll be full tonight. Atmosphere will be electric. But I'm going to tell you what, I'm going with West Lincoln in this one on the road because of the and it's weird to say this, but they've been there. It's been a long time since Lincoln's been in a big game, and those kids hadn't been in one. Maybe they were last year, maybe one. I don't know, but nothing like win tonight. Yeah, you may win the conference in this thing. If Lincoln does so. But I think West Lincoln prevails 21-20 over Lincoln.
Okay.
All right, next game will be Maiden, the Blue Devils. They'll be traveling to face the Red Devils over at Newton, playing Newton Conover. And what is your prediction on this one?
Well, I think the Devils are going to win this one.
There you go.
Maiden is 6-3. Newton Conover's 1-7. Just looking at the record, you'd say Maiden, and Maiden is favored by 21 points tonight. I look for Newton Conover playing a rival, Maiden, to put up a little bit of offense tonight, and I think they'll score about 14 points. But I think Maiden has a little more explosive offense, and I think they're going to probably get 28.
Yeah, quarterback Grant Longing for Maiden, he's going to have a field day tonight. He has over 1,500 yards passing for the Blue Devils. He's leading the conference up there, and they got a running back, Kendall Roberts, who has over 700 yards rushing on the year. Maiden is going to be too much for Newton Conover, and I think it's going to. I've got it 49-13, Maiden over Newton. I don't think that game's going to be. It will be close at all. So Maiden wins that one. All right, so then.
Let's do Hickory. Do Hickory at Statesville Hickory before the break, and then we'll be back. We'll take a break, then we'll come back and talk our 5 broadcast games here. So Greyhounds and Red Tornadoes, 1-3 in our power poll, 1-2 in our conference. Right? Well, no, 1-3 in our conference because North Lincoln's in second, both of them. What you got, Shane?
Well, Statesville comes in averaging 28, giving up 21 a game. They have a quarterback, led by quarterback Ethan Pete. Statesville, Dennis, they're not doing anything flashy to win, and they're not going to blow you out of the game or blow you out of the water either with their play. They're a tough team, but Hickory, in my opinion, is going to be a little bit tougher. They're coming in averaging 54 points a game, only giving up 11. Quarterback Brady Stober, he has over 2,000 yards passing on the season, and running back Isaiah Lackey has over 600 yards rushing. When you have a quarterback throwing over 2,000 yards and you're averaging 54 points a game, and you're playing at home, you're going to win this one. I got Hickory winning easily 49-14 over Statesville.
Well, Statesville has an 8-1 record, and Hickory has a 9-0 record. And if you just stop right there, you'd say, well, these are two pretty evenly matched teams.
Yeah.
But Hickory is favored by 22, and Hickory has an offense that I think will best Statesville. And I think you're probably getting close to the numbers there. I think Statesville is going to score 56, and I think Statesville is going to have like maybe 34.
Okay, 56-34. So we'll be back. We've got 5 more games left to preview, and JP, I know JP's in there eating. You're going to take us to the break. All right, we'll be back right after these messages on KTC.
Cakes and cookies, toys and gifts.
It's the shopping event of the season, the Southern Christmas Show, November 14th through 24th at the Park Expo and Conference Center. Celebrate the 12 days of Christmas, a countdown of Yuletide cheer brimming with festive decor and seasonal magic. Buy tickets early and save at southernChristmasShow.com. Online tickets courtesy of Kraft Body Scan.
Let's go to the Southern Christmas Show.
Ram Power Days are underway at Marburger Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Shelby. Power on with the strength of a new Ram truck. Now get $3,000 retail consumer cash allowance on most new 2025 Ram 1500 models. And now get $2,000 bonus cash allowance on the new 2024 Ram ProMaster models. Power on during Ram Power Days at Marburger Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, 1310 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby.
Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell wants to take this time and say thank you to our veterans. We salute our brave men and women who have sacrificed to protect our country and freedom. Our country cannot survive without you and your service. You are the heart and soul of what's right with this country. Thank you for keeping us safe and free. This veteran salute is brought to you by Full Throttle Power Sports, 100 Indian Walk in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com.
celebrating 27 years of fear. It's the Haunted Pyramids, one of the most frightening haunts in North Carolina, with jaw-dropping special effects and featuring 5 attractions and an escape room. The Haunted Pyramids feature Hollywood effects. It's one of the best values you will find anywhere. Food is available at the Coroner's Cafe. The Haunted Pyramids, 2745 Tony Road in Lawndale, about 1 mile from Burns High School. Open every Friday and Saturday now through November 2nd, plus Halloween night on October 31st. For more information, visit hauntedpyramids.com. Admission is $30. VIP admission is $45. Both include all 5 attractions and the escape room.
Did you know Cleveland Lumber Company has a custom mill workshop? Well, they do. And if you need something custom made, see Cleveland Lumber Company in Shelby. From cabinets to doors to trim. And don't forget, they do screen repair too. See them for your Milwaukee and Makita power tools. Also, Ready Seal for those decks. It's goof proof. Even you can do it. That's Cleveland Lumber Company, 217 Airwood Street in Shelby. Open Monday through Friday. They are the builder's choice. Cleveland Lumber Company in Shelby.
Okay, deer hunters, listen up. Parker Family Feed in Bellwood has remaining deer plots at 25% off. Come get yours today. Also, 50-pound bags of deer corn, just $9 a bag. Cold weather's on the way. Take care of your pets with shaving, straw, and hay. And they've got feed for all your pets and livestock, plus fence posts and wiring. See Dakota and Amber today at Parker Family Feed, 121 Carpenter Grove Church Road on Highway 18 North in Bellwood. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday through Friday, 8 to 12:30 on Saturday. Like them on Facebook, too.
And we're back on the Witherspoon Insurance of Shelby pregame show with Kevin, Shannon, and Dennis.
JP, did you get enough fish in there?
Yeah.
Okay. I know you was eating. So, yeah, Dennis, we got 5 games to left to preview.
I think we can handle it.
I do, too. So, the next one will be North Lincoln. The Knights. What?
I got to interrupt you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Pete's Fish Box. Time to get your fish tonight. 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. Wednesday through Saturday. 704-802-4015. Pete's Fish Box in Cherville. They got DoorDash. We got fish down the hall. We just got some. They provide us our Friday night fishes. Fish meals, flounder, perch, catfish, Alaskan white, shrimp, catfish. I said catfish. Let's see. Calabash shrimp, fantail shrimp, deviled crabs, frog leg Fridays, chicken tenders, and more for the little ones. They also have a lot of fish. If you know what a lot of burger is in Cherville, folks, order the lot of fish sandwich. I'm telling you, $12 for the combo, $7 just for the sandwich. You can get a lot of catfish sandwich. And that's just all I got to say about that, Shannon. I'll let you guys get back to the show, and me and the kids are going to go enjoy some Pete's Fish Box here on KDC Broadcast.
All right, so Dennis, North Lincoln at East Lincoln. We got North Lincoln coming in at 8-1, 5-1 in the conference. East Lincoln 7-2, 4-2 in the conference. Obviously, a big game for this conference. North Lincoln's averaging 39, giving up 24. Have a big running back, Shannon Wingate. He has over 1,400 yards this season for the Knights. And East Lincoln comes in led by their quarterback, Grant Lawless, who has over 2,000 yards passing for the Mustangs. Dennis, I'm gonna tell you what, I don't. It's been a long time since I picked North Lincoln to defeat East Lincoln, but I think they're going to tonight. I think behind Wingate, running the ball, Eli Sipe, their quarterback, I think North Lincoln prevails. I've got it 42-24 over East Lincoln.
Well, North Lincoln, excuse me, North Lincoln has a record of 8-1, East Lincoln 7-2, and interesting thing, North Lincoln is only favored by 4 points, but I'm like you. I'm going to pick North Lincoln because I think they've had a better season. I think they're a better team. Yep. East Lincoln has been off a little bit this year, and I think they're going to win, and the score is going to be something like 32-24 North Lincoln.
All right. RS Central, big county, Rutherford County matchup, RS Central, 2-1 in the conference, 4-4 overall, will be at East Rutherford, 4-3 overall, 2-1 also in the conference. This is a big game in Rutherford County. RS is averaging 31, giving up 30. They have a running back, Carlin McIntyre, who has just under 1,000 yards on the season. East Rutherford, Dennis, has 2 players, quarterback Landon Flynn, over 1,200 yards passing, running back Brandon Pinkerton, he has just under 1,000 yards rushing. I'm gonna tell you what, these two teams are nobody's really talking about them.
No.
And except in Rutherford County, and it wouldn't surprise me for both of these two teams to make noise in the playoffs because I think both of them will make it. But this game tonight, I think East Rutherford is playing at home. I think East Rutherford's going to win this one, a close one. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, 42-38 over RS Central.
Well, RS Central is 4-4 on the year. They're slightly better record than East Rutherford, which is 4-3. But Kevin, East is favored by 33 points at home. Now, I'm not sure they're going to win by that much, like you said, a close game.
Right.
But I'm going with the East High School Cavaliers over their arch rival RS Central Hilltoppers, and I think they're going to win this game by a score of 38-24.
Okay. All right, let's go ahead and jump to Bessemer City and Cherryville. Bessemer City is 5-4, 3-2 in the conference. Cherryville is 3-6, 2-3 in the conference. Bessemer comes in this game averaging 20, giving up 24. Quarterback Gavin Chastain leads the Yellow Jackets over 1,300 yards passing. Cherryville, they're averaging just 12 points a game, giving up 38. I'm going to tell you what, this is a big rivalry game as well for Gaston County.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people forget about this game, but these two schools they are a rivalry game for sure. But I think Bessemer will be a little bit too much for Cherryville to handle this week. I think Bessemer wins this one 35-14.
Well, Bessemer City's 5-4, Cherryville's 3-6. Bessemer is actually favored by 21 here in this one, Shannon. And I think you're probably going to see something right about that level with Cherryville not winning tonight, but Bessemer City emerging victorious. And I think it's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 14. I hate to do this to them. 14-40 for Bessemer City.
Okay. All right. So the last two games, Cleveland County matchup, Kings Mountain will be traveling over to Crest. Kings Mountain 6-2, 4-1 overall. Crest 7-1, 4-1 overall. Dennis, I'll let you take this one. What's your thoughts on the Kings Mountain Crest game?
Well, I'm just going to keep it straight down the middle here.
Yeah, okay.
I don't deviate and play favorites.
Absolutely not.
Kings Mountain is 6-2. Crest is 7-1. And Crest is favored by 14 in this one. And they'll be lucky if they win it by 14, to be quite honest, because this is going to be one of them knockdown, drag-out, slobber knockers. And Kings Mountain is a tough team, very athletic. They're getting their offense together here. They're moving the ball well. I think Kings Mountain, while they're favored by 14, I think the score is going to be a little higher. I think Crest is going to have 42. I think Kings Mountain is going to have 38.
Okay, and I agree with you. This is going to be a close game. Kings Mountain's averaging 34 a game, giving up 18. Crest is averaging 31 a game and giving up 14. Both of them have pretty good both of them have really good quarterbacks. And T.J. Armstrong and then Turner McSwain, both over 1,000 yards passing. And they both have good running backs, Josiah Hill for Kings Mountain, Aiden Carson for Crest with similar numbers, 680 and 715. Even with their stats, I know some say Kings Mountain has the advantage, but I'm gonna tell you what, Crest is playing, even with the loss against South Point. They're a resilient team, and they're playing tough. And I'm gonna go with the Chargers at home, and I think it'll be a close game. We were talking about kicking a while ago. I think Carson Greer is going to kick a game-winning field goal with the 3 points, 31-28. Crest over Kings Mountain.
There you go.
And the last game, Dennis, Shelby, the Golden Lions will be traveling up to Burns. Both of them are 7-2 in overall and 5-0 in the conference. What do you think about this 2A matchup for the conference championship?
Well, two pretty evenly matched teams record-wise, but they're playing up at Burns. And that Burns crowd can get loud, and they're certainly proud. And Shelby's favored by 3, indicating a close game. But I think Burns is going to win this game by 6. I think it's going to turn out to be a 34-28 win for the hometown Bulldogs. Take it away, Tom Sinafani.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what. Beginning of the year with Burns, beginning of the year, everybody said, well, Shelby's going to be the team to beat in the county. But then there's that Crest game Burns had, that first game of the year, and I think that opened up a lot of eyes with people because Burns is actually going to be pretty good. They're not, again, they're like
well coached.
They're absolutely, they're well coached. Well, both teams are well coached, and but Burns, they are, they don't have that big playmaker like they've had in the past, but they've got a bunch of good playmakers that they can go to now. And
McGowan's getting better at the quarterback position.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Being more comfortable.
Yeah. If you look at the numbers, Shelby's averaging 47. They're giving up 16 a game. Land Farmer has 1,900 yards passing. Tristan Tate, running back, has 897 yards rushing. Burns comes in, averaging 43 a game, giving up 13. Similar numbers there. And you mentioned Marshall McGowan, Burns' quarterback. He has 815 yards passing, just his first year playing quarterback for the Bulldogs. And then they have Xavion Wilson, a running back. He has 653 yards on the season. And I want to say the last time Shelby was up at Burns was in 2022. And if I'm not mistaken, that's when Burns beat them two times that year, once in the regular season, the other in the playoffs. And so it's going to be a great ball game. Who's just texting me? But yeah, this is one of those games that's, you don't know who's going to win.
Do not underestimate Burns at home.
No, and again, I haven't seen Burns play. Unfortunately, I haven't seen them play this year. Just kept up with stats on here and highlights up here. But I'm gonna, obviously, I think it's gonna be a 3-point goal game. I think Shelby will win again, 31-28. That's my easy go number there. But unlike the Crest game, it wouldn't surprise me if Burns wins this game.
Yeah,
it would not surprise me because, like I said, Devon can play Shelby probably better than anybody, and he can coach against them.
He has a record with Shelby.
He does, and it wouldn't surprise me if the Bulldogs did win this game. But I'm picking Shelby. But again, if Burns wins, they're both going to be tough outs in the playoffs, regardless of what happens in this game. So, but yeah, Dennis, that's all the games we're picking, and obviously the games around here. We want to thank again Pete's Fish Box in Cherville for their pregame. I guess this is our pregame meal. Is that what it is?
Well, I started to say my next pick is going to be some flounder.
Oh yeah, well I know if I eat Pete's Fish Balls before I'm gonna go outside and play a game, forget it. I'm going to the couch after I eat. I'm gonna take a nap. So, but yeah, that's it for here on the Witherspoon pregame show. Thanks for the sponsorship there. And but JP, if you're ready, we'll go ahead and send it out to the ball games. We want to wish everyone good luck tonight, and we'll see you next week.
When you experience the loss of a loved one, trust the Stamey Tysinger Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Falston to help guide you through the arrangements necessary to create a meaningful ceremony that celebrates the unique life being honored. Their staff is committed to providing your family with the highest quality care and service in your time of need. The Stamey Tysinger Funeral Home and